Rockies win in Los Angeles last night. They now have a 5-game win streak right here at Dodger Stadium, and it's your NL West first place Rockies against the Dodgers, a chance to take a series in Game 2 against LA. Gorgeous evening here at Chavez Ravine. We are ready for some baseball. Charlie Blackmon will step in the batter's box to begin for the Rocks. We'll get you our Southwest batting order. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. After Charlie, Gerardo Parra is going to slide up. He'll hit in the 2-hole tonight. Nolan's hitting third. Trevor Story cleaning up. Carlos Gonzalez in the starting lineup today. He'll be in right field. Ian Desmond hitting sixth. Chris Iannetta is catching, and Daniel Castro moves in to second base with Chad Bettis on the mound. Brock Stewart will be the pitcher for the Dodgers today. They had to make a move to get him in the starting rotation. The right-handed pitcher was recalled for the 4th time this season, the 3rd time in May alone. So he's been pitching out of the bullpen. He'll be making his first start of 2018 with that pitch in there for a ball.
Well, Brock Stewart for the Dodgers made it to the big leagues pretty rapidly back in 2016, but since then has dealt with some arm injuries. He's a former infielder, converted in college to a pitcher. And so it's a little bit of a different arm angle for Brock Stewart. Fastball about 91 miles an hour, has a decent changeup and slider to go with it.
Charlie's gonna foul that baseball off.
I like the ring of first place Colorado Rockies.
It sounds good. It needs to be in lights in Hollywood, right?
Hollywood. One step at a time.
So here's the standings. As you woke up today, you saw the Rockies in first place with the Diamondbacks on a losing streak, a half game back. And the Dodgers sitting at 20 and 27, 5.5 games back. Interesting conversation with Dave Roberts today in his media scrum, just kind of talking about coming into this year. Many people expected the NL West to be the premier division, to be tough. And now you see some of these teams just floating around 500, several games below 500, but still believe with injuries and things like that that have happened to some of these top tier teams, we're going to see a difference come September. For Charlie Blackmon lining out to the second baseman tonight in Logan Forsythe. Let's take a look at that defense for the Dodgers. I mentioned Forsythe getting a start at second. Max Muncy's going to stay at first base. Turner's at third and Taylor's at shortstop to round out the infield. Kemp, Bellinger in center, and Puig getting the start out in right field for the Dodgers with Grandal behind the dish again. So Gerardo Parra stepping in, hitting second tonight after cleaning up yesterday.
This is the 42nd different lineup, Jenny, that the Rockies are using, and it's about league average. It seems like a lot, 42 different lineups. It feels like a lot.
Trying to get that offense going somehow, some way. They just haven't been performing the way they can be advertised on paper as Parra fouls that off. You know, Parra's bat's gotten hot lately. He was hitting .220 on May 1st and still 364 is what his batting average has been since. A couple of home runs and 7 RBI. You want to get the guys hot towards the top to try and make something happen early.
That's right. You want to get some more base runners for the Rockies so they can score runs. It's too dependent upon just a home run.
A big difference when you're talking about Gerardo Parra in April versus May. And of course, again, with the lineup shuffle, you're going through, you know, Parra not starting every day. Some of these guys trying to figure out how to get their bats going. And you mentioned it yesterday, trying to earn some playing time, as that's a comebacker to the pitcher off Brock Stewart's glove. And guess what? The Rockies have their first base runner of the night.
Third baseman number 28.
He loved two-strike approaches, and the Dodgers, they really have been shifting a lot on the Rockies. This would have gone straight to Justin Turner, who moved from third base up the middle. Ends up hitting Brock Stewart, which is fortunate for Gerardo to get that base runner. Part of the reason why you get some of the numbers to go in your favor is you get some favorable bounces.
So Nolan Arenado will step in. rocking his .325 batting average this season. It's nice to have a runner on for Nolan, by the way.
It's so much better if he has somebody on base. And there's so many holes because he has the ability to manipulate the barrel.
The one over to Nolan, high, so he's going to have 2 balls to start his first at bat. Nolan swings at the 2-0 grounder to Turner. He's going to go to second, and the Dodgers are going to turn it for a double play. Sapara got on base early, but the Rockies leave empty. We'll move on to the bottom half. Chad Bettis next. Dodger Stadium, 65 degrees, and a great night for Chad Bettis to be on the mound, especially with his 1.83 road ERA. Chad's making his 10th start of the season.
He has been fantastic on the road, and I think when you're watching Chad Bettis tonight, pay attention to some important stats. The last 2 games from him, right-handed hitters are hitting .379. We know what the arsenal is. Fastball about 90 miles an hour. The changeup, it's creeping up. He's almost using it over 30% of the time now. But the last 2 starts, when we're seeing these numbers from right-handed batters against Chad Bettis, it's due in part to the fact that he's throwing a first pitch strike 78% of the time, which is remarkable. But it's also, hitters are being very aggressive first pitch.
Starts out today with a ball, so 1-0 to Max Muncy, who's moved to the top of the order for the Dodgers. Dave Roberts today saying he wants to get his hot hands the most at bats, and that opportunity to see Muncy 4 or 5 times is why he's starting for just the 2nd time in his career in the leadoff spot.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah, once he puts his bat down there, didn't get the timeout or time he was looking for.
I think back to Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson did this, swung and hit a home run. It's exactly right for Chad Bettis. It wasn't granted by Alfonso Marquez. He's saying to him, listen, you called for it too late.
The 1-2 to Muncy, and he's gonna swing and miss on that one. Well, thrown off in his at bat.
Third baseman, number 10, Justin
There's Southwest
Turner.
Airlines batting order for the Dodgers. Justin Turner, he's hitting 2nd. Same to Dave Roberts' point. Try and get his hot hitters the most at bats. He has Monty Grandal hitting 3rd. Matt Kemp in the cleanup spot. Cody Bellinger back out in center field. Chris Taylor, Yasiel Puig with the start in right, and Logan Forsythe also first start against the Rockies this season. So here comes Justin Turner. First pitch on the inside for a ball. Turner has the best numbers of any Dodger against Chad Bettis, 8 for 15 in his career. It's a .533 average and 5 RBI. Chad's trying to attack him early and gets that one in there for a strike.
Well, when Chad's at his best, he's a little bit of a nibbler. He's around the strike zone. He gets people to chase outside of the strike zone. With the fastball at 90 miles an hour, a big league hitter is going to make you pay if you miss middle portion of the plate. And that's why the changeup that he's able to throw in hitters counts is so effective.
Turner gets a hold of that one out in the left field. That's going to stay fair and bounce over the wall for a ground rule double.
Justin Turner changes the dynamics of this Dodgers lineup when he's back in it. There's a changeup, 2-1 count on the Subaru Supermo. Because of the great bat path and because of how balanced he is at the plate, he's able to stay back on it, pull his hands through, and catch the changeup out in front.
So some early confidence for the Dodgers with a runner in scoring position, and swinging at the first pitch is Yasmani Grandal. Chris Iannetta cannot make that play. Let's check the defense behind Chad Bettis. We'll start in the outfield. Carlos Gonzalez getting a start, a game-winning RBI for Cargo off the bench last night. In center, Charlie, and out in right field, Gerardo Parra, another start tonight. On the infield, Daniel Castro. He'll be at second base tonight. Of course, Desmond at first. Nolan and Trevor Story will be manning the left side of the infield for Trevor, his 100th consecutive start. That's the fourth most active among, or I should say the fourth most among active players. We've seen a lot of durability out of him these last 2 seasons.
Well, and it goes back to the fact that he's taking a much better approach at the plate. And so there's no reason to pull him out because his defense has been so good. It's elite. It is Gold Glove caliber.
2-1 to Grandal. 0 for 4 yesterday with a couple of strikeouts. Grandal's been scuffling in May, hitting just 173 after a hot April where he started out hitting 315. Right at Desmond. Desmond's going to check the runner and make the quick out at first. So the Dodgers will move Turner up to third. But 2 outs for the Rocks.
Left fielder, number 27, Matt Kemp.
Now the Dodgers have their hottest hitter in Matt Kemp coming up.
I always have to remind people how good Matt Kemp is. He's kind of become that forgotten soul, I think, when you saw him get traded from LA to San Diego to Atlanta. Forget how good Matt Kemp is when he's at his best. And if you think about it, the last 2 years for Matt Kemp, 54 home runs combined. That's a lot of damage.
1-1 to Kemp. Looking at his road that Philly's talking about, you know, you begin with the Dodgers. He ends up in San Diego. It looked like that was going to be a great fit for him. The star of the show there. Off to Atlanta. And then back to LA. And somewhere in the middle, it felt like he lost his way. It felt like he lost who he was. See some power numbers from him still as he is going to drive in the first run of the game. Turner coming home, and Kemp has an RBI single. And talking to people around the Dodgers, Philly, the resurgence has been unreal this year. You talk about just his personality turnaround, being a clubhouse guy, and you see he's just so loose in what he's doing. Could possibly be his best year yet.
Well, he's fighting for an opportunity. I mean, the Dodgers brought him to LA thinking that they were going to be able to spin him to another team in the offseason. They weren't able to. And so by default, he shows up to spring training and turns heads both by his physical appearance and by the quality of bat and the change of character, as you mentioned. And part of that comes down to players realize it when you're at a crossroads in your career. Are you going to be able to stay on a major league roster, or are you becoming that guy that they'd rather see you just go home?
Desmond can't make that play. Off into the right field corner, and Cargo's going to throw in, but the double is done, and runners on second and third for the Dodgers.
Shortstop number 3, Chris Taylor.
Ball's driven hard down the first baseline. Let's pay attention to Ian Desmond. He tries to backhand it, starts moving towards the bag before he ever fields it. Go down as a hit for Cody Bellinger. Matt Kemp going easily first to third. A series of 3 pitches, you're looking at the Dodgers with an opportunity to bust it open in the first inning.
Much different feel from last night's game out of the gate. Dodgers attacking already with 3 hits in the first inning, as many as they had last night. So Chris Taylor, the batter. Again, Rockies with 2 outs, trying to get out of this. Fouls off the 0-1, 0-2 to Taylor.
It's amazing for Chris Taylor. Last year, career year for him, hitting .288 with 21 home runs. You got to think back to his time with the Seattle Mariners. He had over 200 at-bats with the Seattle Mariners. Had 1 home run. Completely changed his swing. Well, with the Justin Turner leg kick, he likes the Nolan Arenado false step back. He basically took 3 of his favorite hitters, Mike Trout, Nolan Arenado, Justin Turner, and combined their swings to make Chris Taylor.
That's not a bad 3 to look for. If only you could have done that. Did those players exist when you were playing?
No.
Exactly. To Taylor. Full count.
That's not a good sign for Chad yet, because he does not have the changeup. The changeup has not been effective so far, and for some starters, the first inning is when he tried to get after it because he doesn't have a feel for all of his pitches. And in this bat specifically, Chris Taylor has seen the ball well out of his hand.
Taylor fouls that one off into the Dodger dugout. We've seen the Bulldog, Chad Bettis, before. Time to bear down. 23 pitches so far in this first inning. Taylor on ball 4 to load the bases.
That's going to bring out Steve Foster. A quick discussion with Chad Bettis. Part of this is just to settle down the pitcher, settle down Chad, ask him what pitches does he feel comfortable with so him and Ionetta can be on the same page. You know you have an extremely aggressive hitter coming up in Yasiel Puig.
Now batting for the Dodgers. Right fielder, number 66.
Become so accustomed to Chad Bettis on the road, getting after it early, and now 24 pitches in. Trying to settle things down with bases loaded, not the easiest task.
Not at all. It's a huge at bat for Chad to be able to get out of this inning. Bases loaded. Keep it at a one-run game.
With the Dodgers' most electric hitter by antics coming up to the plate. Attacks him early, first pitch strike from Chad. Close call in the corner. It's going to be 1-1.
Yasiel Puig today, Jenny, during batting practice was swinging a 40-ounce bat. He was trying to talk his teammates into swinging their bat, and everybody said, why?
Yeah, why is the big question.
Typical bat weight is about 32 ounces. That's the average weight of a Major League bat.
That pitch go by. Checks the swing and ball 2-1.
The Dodger hitters are being very patient with Chad Bettis. And even Yasiel Puig, who we just mentioned, extremely aggressive, he's taking some borderline pitches.
Just 6 hits for Puig in 30 chances with runners in scoring position this season. It's in there for a strike, 2-2. Puig did not like it, and shocking, he's going to let the umpire know.
2-1 changeup inside the Subaru Supremo. Looks like a good pitch.
Alfonso Marquez calling balls and strikes. He was at first base last night and had a tough call to end the game. Went in the Rocks' favor. Ball's low, so working a full count for Yasiel Puig. And now it's loud. We have not heard Dodger Stadium get too loud yesterday. And early in the first, they're on their feet.
It's going to be a challenge for Chad. You have to pick what pitch you feel most comfortable throwing. The changeup has been that better pitch.
He's going to walk in another run. So Ken comes around to score. The Dodgers take the early advantage tonight, 2-0. 30 pitches for Chad this inning, a couple of walks. Bases loaded again for the second time. Logan Forsythe, the batter. First time the Rocks are seeing him starting at second base tonight. Of course, the former Padre played for the Rockies manager Bud Black. Again, first pitch strike for Chad, gets ahead early.
Well, compared to the last at bat, Chad was afraid to throw fastball to Yasiel Puig. He never threw him one. And in a bases loaded situation, you typically will see guys expand, try to swing, try to be a hero. Yasiel never swung the bat.
Forsythe swing and a miss. 1-2 for Bettis. Back to the fastball. Go right under it, and the Rockies are going to get out of this, leaving bases loaded. 2 runs on the board, though, from the Dodgers, and the early advantage here in Los Angeles. Net is brought to you by the 2018 Toyota Tundra and your hometown Toyota stores. And by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees, that's transparency. There's the pier in Santa Monica. 65 degrees tonight and beautiful. Score, not so much. Early, the Dodgers take the advantage 2-0 as we go to the top of the second. Trevor Story will be the first to hit against Brock Stewart. Trevor, again, his 100th consecutive game played. It's funny how those active streaks go, right? Cal Ripken made it 2,130 games. I don't believe that will be touched again.
I think that's a safe assumption.
I think you could divide that by 10, and I'm not sure.
Maybe
oh, okay, fine. Divided by 5.
2,216
Escobar
games.
with 381. That's still a lot of baseball games. I mean, now you're talking, you know my math, but
yeah, it's not
what,
good.
3 seasons? Into 4? The 1-0 and Trevor swinging on it. That's going to not find any grass. Laying out Matt Kemp for the first out.
So far, Matt Kemp has been the story in tonight's game. The base hit for the first run, the RBI, and now a great read for Matt Kemp. He's playing a lot deeper than he used to on the Subaru Supermo. This ball's squared up. This is a double in the gap, but base where Matt Kemp is standing deep in left field, he took the perfect route. Takes a hit away from Nolan, from Story and the Rockies.
See what you did, too. Matt Kemp's been the story of tonight.
I got tied up.
Carlos Gonzalez getting a start tonight.
Pizza Ranch for the win is brought to you by Pizza Ranch. I love LA. Don't like the song, but Carlos Gonzalez loves to play here. 255 average, 7 home runs, 27 RBIs. 4th highest active batting average against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Well over 300 against the Dodgers in his career.
Last night he came off the bench, game-winning RBI. And now Cargo is on a 3-game hit streak. 2-1, and Cargo's going to swing right to second base. Forsythe making the out. Number 2. Well, it is a Toyota Talk 25 night, and we can hope that you can join the conversation as we celebrate our number 19 player. That's Aaron Cook, the former Rockies pitcher. He's going to join us coming up in the 3rd inning. So if you have any questions for Aaron, shoot those in now. Don't forget to hashtag Toyota Talk 25. Look forward to talking to your old teammate, Spilly.
Cookie in the sinker. Best sinker I've ever seen.
He induced a lot of ground balls with the Colorado Rockies. Played from 2002 to 11, 72 wins, second most in franchise history. He was an all-star in 2008, of course, on that 2007 team.
Not to mention 2005, Tony Conigliaro, award winner for coming back after getting diagnosed with blood clots.
Very scary time.
Yeah, there's a chance that Aaron Cook might not have ever pitched in the big leagues.
Ian works a 3-0 count. Watches the first strike, 3-1.
We'd like the Rockies to respond after giving up 2 runs in the first inning, but the play from Matt Kemp, basically taking an extra base hit away to start off the inning, is put the Rockies down a bit.
Desmond swinging at that pitch, out into left field. She gone. There's your answer, Spilly. A solo home run, and the Rockies cut the lead in half. 2-1.
You gotta love it. 3-1 count, and get a response back from the Rockies. And just talking about how it's a momentum swing with Matt Kemp stealing a double away from Trevor Story, you're probably looking at a tie game. And Ian just gets a fastball he can handle. Belt high, center cut on the Subaru Supermo. You knew right off the bat that he got it. That's Ian's 4th home run now against right-handed pitching. I know he's only hitting 140 against righties, but it's fantastic to see him drive it.
Ryan Edel ground out to Justin Turner, and the inning will be over, but not before Ian Desmond gets the Rockies on the board. His 8th home run of the season, and an important one in LA tonight.
Dodgers here in LA. Chris Iannetta behind them catching today for the Rockies. But we got to go to August 27th, 2006, because that was the day that Chris Iannetta was making his major league debut. And guess who he was catching that day? You guessed it, Aaron Cook, the guy we're celebrating tonight. And so today, Iannetta was talking to him about Cookie and the advice that he gave him on his major league debut, and we were laughing when he said this.
Told me that one of us needs to get sleep because he's going to be tired. So I basically telling me that I needed to be rested out because he was going to be tired for the game, which was a complete joke. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I mean, it's easy. I had to put down with one finger for a sinker, so it wasn't very challenging and mentally taxing. I just had to worry about catching the baseball and trying to get a hit.
Yeah, good news is he was able to focus on getting a hit. He was able to get his first major league hit that day against Jake Peavy, so he has Aaron Cook to thank for that. Jenny?
Taylor, thanks. Look forward to talking with Aaron Cook. We're going to do that in the third inning. Chad Bettis and Chris Iannetta together work out number one, getting strikeout of the pitcher. So Max Muncy for round two. He struck out in his first at bat.
That 87-mile-an-hour pitch is his changeup. I'd like to see Chad be maybe a little bit more aggressive with the fastball the second time through. The fastball down and away on the Subaru strike zone. If he starts getting the fastball, now you're starting to put the hitters in where you have to sell out on a pitch. Now the changeup can become a lot more effective, but they have to respect fastball.
Another 3-2 count. Chad finds himself in. I mentioned Muncy leading off with his hot bat, hitting .345 in his last 11. There's 3 home runs and 10 RBI in that time. It's a home run last night against the Rocks.
Former 5th-round draft pick of the Oakland A's back in 2012 was drafted out of Baylor University.
Broke the freshman records at Baylor for home runs and RBIs in 2010, so
He's always had pop.
from an early age, a lot of power. And with strike 3, Chad Bettis gets out number 2. Back-to-back strikeouts. Justin Turner coming up.
Now he's starting to establish the fastball. That fastball up to Max Muncy, and let's see how he attacks Justin Turner. Turner 2-1 changeup that he ripped down the left field line. Ground rule double was on a changeup. I love it. Slide step fastball. Trying to throw Turner off with his leg kick. See how many times he does this. We know how Chris Russin loves to speed him up.
Chris Russin, quick pitch school.
Well, anybody with a big leg kick, you're about disrupting timing.
Justin Turner off on his timing.
Well, it comes back to the quick pitch of the first pitch of the at-bat. You have inside Justin Turner's mind that he might do it. Let's see if he changes his approach with this 2-strike account.
The 1-2 and fouls it off. Low, 2, ball 2, 2-2.
Mind games right now between Chad Bettis and Justin Turner. Slide step, basically a abbreviated windup with the changeup.
It's not a bad tactic when a guy is 9 for 16 against you. Just had a double in his first at bat. On deck, Yasmani Grandal, but a full count here, and Chad Bettis looking to attack. Broken bat towards Nolan, and Nolan's gonna help for out number 3. Much different Chad Bettis in the second inning. We'll go on to the third. We'll hear from Aaron Cook, the former Rocky, next. Go to the top of the third. The Dodgers have a 2-1 lead. And the Rockies are going to try and add here in the third. We're celebrating our number 19 player overall on our Toyota Talk 25 night. It's the Rockies' former pitcher, Aaron Cook. He was here from 2002 to 2011. 72 wins, the second most all-time in team history with 4.53 ERA. Those are the numbers, but the real thing is better. And Aaron Cook joins us tonight live from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Cookie, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on tonight.
Hey, we're so glad to have you and celebrate you and just celebrating the Rockies all season long, 25 years. It's cool to look back on the history, and especially the history of, you know, how you changed the game with pitching, ground ball pitching. I mean, just go back to that time and the mindset you had to have to pitch at Coors Field, and you had so much success doing it there.
Well, it really started in the minor leagues. So with pitching coach, I had one Brent Smith and the other one Bob McClure, and I tried to be a strikeout pitcher early in my career, and they said, hey, that's not going to work at Coors Field. You need to get the ball put in play. And I really started working hard on my sinker, developed that, and I got out of my mind that I had to strike everybody out, and I just tried to pitch quick, keep my defense on their toes, and get the games over with quicker.
Cookie, we used to tease that you could make a fish sink. That's how good your sinker ball was. Who taught you the sinker, and when did you realize that it was an elite sinker for your repertoire?
Yeah, you were the one that came up with making the fish sink. I remember that. I can't remember where we were, but I remember you saying it first. And Brent Smith, I was in Denver one off season working, and we were in a bullpen, and I was throwing straight four-seamers, two-seamer wouldn't move, and he just kind of showed me a grip, said, hey, grab the ball like this and just throw it. And I threw it, and it just sank naturally. I'm like, where did that come from? He goes, well, that's the pitch I used to throw. So I just kept working on it all off season. That next year we went to Salem, Virginia, and that was predominantly the pitch I threw 95% of the time that year, and we ended up winning the championship that year, and it just kind of took off from there.
Yeah, well, thanks to that, at the big league level, you induced 2,672 ground balls, but who's counting, right?
Yeah, I didn't even know it was that many.
You know, I think back on the 2007 season and all the fun memories. Of course, the World Series not leaving the best taste in your mouth, but the run up to it, you know, Spilly, Corey, all the guys that you played with. We obviously talk about it often on our broadcast with them here, but what are some of your memories from that season?
Well, that was kind of a rough season for me. I ended up tearing my oblique in August sometime, so I spent a lot of time on DL towards the end of the season. But I knew once we started going on that run, I really hit my rehab hard, took things very serious, and just gave myself the best opportunity to come back and pitch in the postseason. Unfortunately, we didn't do any good in the World Series, but I was able to come back. And actually, one of my favorite memories about that home run, or that whole run, was Spilly's home run he hit, and I think he rounded the bases in like 10 seconds, like it's a world record.
Daniel Castro ends his at-bat. 7th pitch of the at-bat, right to Justin Turner.
Hey, Cookie, we were talking earlier about the blood clots that you went through, the procedure that you had to go through. At what point, especially after you're getting diagnosed with something kind of life-threatening, how did it change your mindset for baseball? How did it change how you looked at the game? How did it change how you worked?
It really just put everything in perspective. I was, really, I would say a serious person when it came to baseball, and it just kind of lightened me up. Like, hey, this is a game. We're just a bunch of big kids. We need to go out here and have fun, work hard at doing it, but at the end of the day, you can't take it home with you, and that was the one thing I tried to do. I just left the game at the field when I went home, spent time with my kids, and, I tried to have as much fun. I was real lighthearted after that. Even during that World Series run, I remember before Game 4 started, I was out there dancing with LaTroy and just trying to get everybody loose. Like, hey, man, this is supposed to be fun. We're in the top of what we're trying to get to. Let's just have fun and go out there and enjoy it.
Yeah, you're a terrible dancer.
Yeah, well, I'm redheaded and white. There's not much going on right there.
Chad Bettis strikes out for out number 2. I think, too, Cookie, you talk about Chad Bettis this year and what he had to overcome. We talked about, his cancer comeback this year. You see it. You see the life and the perspective that he brings to the ballpark every day. I'm sure that World Series run, you could enjoy it a little bit more because of what you mentioned. But, I also think then you followed it up with the 2008. You mentioned 2007. Your numbers weren't that great, but 2008, an all-star campaign, 16 wins that season. Would that be your highlight year for you?
I would definitely say so. That was my highlight year. Being able to be selected to the All-Star team, pitching the All-Star game after pitching in the World Series, I just had a relaxed year coming off that World Series, knowing I went through everything I went through to get back and pitch in the World Series. I just, I stayed relaxed going into that next year and had one of the best years. And, coming off that year, I had a couple years where I had some just weird injuries, line drive off my ankle, broke my finger in spring training one year. So there was just some weird stuff that went on, but I always try to keep everything in perspective, and, hopefully that's what came off for me, for my teammates.
We're looking at some of your highlights, Cookie, of you in the All-Star game, and it was at Yankee Stadium. I remember you had to pitch 3 innings. You had to face the heart of the lineup. What did that make you feel, honestly, when you're walking off the field thinking about a starting pitcher in an All-Star game, especially in New York?
Well, yeah, the one thing that I remember the most about that game is I got up earlier, like maybe in the 8th or 9th inning, and then they sent me back down. And then when they told me I was pitching, I think I came in 10th, 11th, and 12th, if I remember correctly. When I walked to the mound, it was 12:05 in the morning. I'm like, I'm really pitching in Yankee Stadium for an All-Star game at 12:05 in the morning. And and then to have bases loaded, no outs, I think twice during that game, and get out of it. I mean, I don't think I went to sleep at all that night after all that went down. We had an early flight the next morning, and I just think I just laid there in bed with my eyes open, just like, how did I get out of that?
Charlie Blackman gets on base with the single. Gerardo Parra at the plate. We're talking with Aaron Cook, celebrating him as one of our top 25 Rockies. The media voted on it for us this year, and he's coming in at number 19. Were you surprised at number 19, Aaron, your first pitcher?
I was just honored to be on the list at all, to be honest with you. I mean, looking at all these great players on this list, I mean, it's just a great honor to be selected by the people that selected us. And, I'm looking forward to the festivities coming up, I believe, in June. Is that correct? June 24th, 25th?
Yep.
So, I'll be in town for that. I'm looking forward to that and meeting some of the fans and just being around the city for a while.
Yeah, that'll be great. It'll be a great time. I do have to correct myself. I forgot we honored Pedro Estacio, so you are our second pitcher.
Awesome.
Trying to get some pitchers on the list, but, when you have the second most wins in franchise history, I think it was a no-doubter that we were going to be able to celebrate you. Gerardo Parra fouling that off 1-1. I asked you for some Spilly stories. You think you can drum one up? He's wearing a ridiculous coat tonight, by the way, which is probably not shocking to you, Aaron Cook. He calls it his Brockmeyer jacket, if you can know that reference.
No, I'm not really up to date on
television show
the
Brockmeyer. Yeah, don't even worry about it.
If he's got a weird-looking jacket on, he's probably got some goofy-looking socks to go with it.
Spilly is a goofy socks kind of guy.
I'm glad he's rocking the full beard right now, because that little silly mustache he rocks, it just don't look all that great.
Well, yeah. Well, and plus, I mean, we'll probably get into it in the next half inning, but you're a cowboy now. You're like a legitimate cowboy. You're in Tulsa, Oklahoma right now looking at horses.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of a redneck converted to cowboy. Me and my wife, I think we got 32 horses right now. We got a few head of cattle, and we live on 140 acres in Texas. She runs barrels, and I do cutting horse stuff, and we stay busy nonstop. It's just 24/7 with us.
Wow, it sounds like the animal farm used to have to deal with in the clubhouse with these guys. You got a lot of training.
Except Cookie has a bigger belt buckle now.
That's true. Much bigger belt buckle.
What does your belt buckle say? That's what I always have to ask a cowboy. What does your belt buckle say right now?
The one that I'm wearing right now says Celebrity Cutting Champion. I actually got a chance to show with Tammy Tucker at the Celebrity Cutting in Fort Worth, and we ended up winning the whole thing. So that's the one I like to rock. I've got a couple more I've won, and hopefully we can add a few more to the collection before it's all said and done.
Do you wear your belt buckle with more pride, or your 2007 National League Championship ring with more pride?
I wear my national championship ring with more pride. I don't wear it as often because I don't want to lose it. I'm a very forgetful person. Sometimes I forget where I leave things. So belt buckle's easy to keep track of, so I wear it more. But when I do have my ring on, I definitely wear it with more pride.
And Charlie was going on the 2-2, and Parra knocks a single to left field. So the Rockies have some runners on first and second, with Nolan Arenado coming up to the bat.
Well, now this inning has gotten. Now this inning has gotten very interesting on the Supermo. Not a hit and run because it's with 2 strikes, but Gerardo, who's been taking very quality at bats, just punching it into the outfield. Now you have, we said, Nolan Arenado smelling RBIs.
Grandal is giving the defensive signs, and Nolan would like to eat some ribbies, if you will. Just 25 on the season for Nolan. So, Aaron, if you'll hang with us through this at bat with Nolan. I know you enjoy watching Nolan Arenado hit. First pitch in the dirt.
Dodger fans are starting the wave, Cookie.
Oh, they got one of the best waves in all the baseball out there when they get it going.
So what is your opinion on the wave, Aaron? You're okay with it?
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Is that what I'm hearing from you?
I think as long as the fans are involved and engaged, players are okay with anything.
Yeah, I just remember going to Riverfront Stadium as a kid and doing the wave down there, and it was fun for me as a kid and as a fan, so I even enjoy it when I was playing, watching other people do it.
1-1 to Nolan.
Nolan hitting .400 this season with runners in scoring position. That number, as high as it sounds, is 6th in the National League.
Saw some frustration from Nolan after his at-bats yesterday. A couple of strikeouts. He did end up walking before the end of the day. Now reached base safely in 29 of 30 games. He's going to foul off the 1-1.
You can tell by some of the swings that Nolan is having against Brock Stewart. A little different arm angle. Not quite picking up the baseball. Part of that can be attributed to Brock Stewart being a former infielder. He's a third baseman in college before converting to a pitcher.
Only 11 outings as a pitcher in college. Scout saw something in him to make him a pitcher at the big league level, and Nolan's gonna find a hole out to left field. Charlie's coming home, and no throw home. The Rockies have tied it up in the third.
This all started so innocently. 2 outs. Charlie Blackmon getting a base hit. Gerardo Parra punching it opposite field, and then Nolan coming through again. The Subaru Supermo Looks like a sinker that runs back in, and Nolan pulls his hands in tight, gets it right through the infield. Because Matt Kemp plays so deep in left field, there's no chance for him to even make an attempt throughout Charlie Blackmon at home.
See what happens when runners are in scoring position for Nolan, huh?
He drives them in.
All tied up at Dodger Stadium. 2 outs for the Rocks and Trevor Story with 2 on.
Cookie, your good luck charm. Might have to keep you on for a lot longer.
You know that kid in Nolan Arenado wearing 28, that's good luck.
Cookie's old number.
I love it. Did he ask your permission?
No, he didn't need my permission. I need to ask permission to still wear it if
right.
I'm walking around town.
I do see the occasional Aaron Cook t-shirt or jersey around Coors Field.
But they're still rocking them out there?
Grandal's gonna check the runner and Parra back at second.
Of course they still rock up. I mean, what does that mean to you as a player when you see your jersey worn by a fan?
It's really cool. You know, just when we came back for the reunion last year and seeing people still have my jersey and the giveaway T-shirts, and you know, I'm so far removed from that now. I'm not in Denver anymore, and just coming back and seeing the fans and their appreciation for what we were able to do that year, it just means a lot.
Well, you earned it.
Well, thank you, Spilly.
Yeah.
Check the swing, and Trevor didn't go, so 3-0 for Trev. 21 2-out RBIs for him this season. Go ahead, Aaron.
Oh, I was saying, I think Spilly had a lot to do with part of my success. Didn't you rob a home run in Washington one year for me?
I still talk to Brian Schneider, that was the hitter, and remind him every single time. Brian Schneider is a coach with the Miami Marlins, so we see him about twice a year. Yeah, I helped you out one time.
I appreciate it. It meant a lot to me.
Checks in the mail, Spilly.
No, it's not.
3-0, and Trev swinging. That one's going deep to center field. Warning track, and under it is Bellinger for the final out of the inning. Aaron Cook's going to stay on with us. We'll have him for the bottom half. Cookie, good to talk to you and celebrate with you, and look forward to the next half of the inning.
Sounds
Moment as we're celebrating Aaron Cook tonight. The shortest 9-inning game in Coors Field history belongs to the former number 28, July 1st, 2008. Complete game shutout against the San Diego Padres. Bud Black was the manager for the Padres then. 1 hour, and 58 minutes. Those are baseball games you like to play in.
That was my favorite game of all time, playing behind Cookie. Cookie, remember this game? You threw, what was it, 78 pitches, 77 of them sinkers?
Yeah, that was a fun game. I always like to get the games over with quick.
I think your defense appreciated that as well. Yasmani Grandal, the batter for the Dodgers.
That was, I mean, at the major league level, to pitch a game using one essential pitch and getting a complete game, like it just doesn't happen. I mean, you remember after the game, we all kind of laughed and looked at each other. Did the Padres have somewhere to go? Do they have a date?
Just a lot of swinging quickly. You never know. I was the reporter for San Diego that year. I think I remember that game, and I did make my dinner reservation. So thank you.
Because you knew Cookie was pitching, you're like, all right, it's going to be a quick game. Let's go.
That one.
Yeah, I think it was 74 pitches, day game. I think it was getaway day, maybe, if I can remember correct.
Bettis gets in another full count situation with Grandal. Grandal swinging at the pitch, and Ian Desmond works his way over back to Bettis for the first out. You know, with Chad Bettis pitching, I kind of mentioned it last half of the inning, Cookie, but to watch his story this year, I don't know how much interaction you've been able to have with Chad. But again, what you had to go through in your career, were you able to talk to Chad at all in that process of going through cancer and having to make that comeback?
I never did, unfortunately. I would love to. He seems like a great guy. And, you know, unfortunately, sometimes to have great stories, you got to go through things that are rough. And that kind of, you know, I wish it didn't have to be that way. But he seems like a great guy. I'd love to meet him when I come in town and talk to him about what he went through and share some of what I went through. And, you know, but he's come out. I try to catch as many games as I can. It's tough being in Texas, but when they're on TV, I try to catch it. And, you know, what a great success story, and I just wish him all the luck.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch Chad this year and pitch so well. This entire rotation's been pitching well. I mean, I'm sure you've at least caught up with that a little bit. The young pitchers, the excitement at Coors Field, and really that's something to attribute back to you. I mean, success can happen when Coors Field is your home ballpark, and I think that's something you instilled a long time ago. So pretty special to look back on that. I also think it's pretty special to look back on some moments you guys had at spring training, right, Spilly?
Daisy Mays, do you miss that place at all?
I miss it. It's terrible. I'm like, want to go to Arizona just to go to Daisy Mays. Like one of the best restaurants in the world.
If you don't know what Daisy Mays is, it's a barbecue outside of Tucson, and for spring training, this was the home of the Colorado Rockies. Brad Hobb, Todd Helton, Aaron Cook, they would go and have wings pretty much every single night to keep that perfect body of yours.
That spring training body in shape.
I love that restaurant so much. When I retired from the Rockies, I bought my first dog. I named her Daisy May.
Really?
Yes, I did.
I appreciate that. That's great. Matt Kemp goes down swinging. Cody Bellinger, the batter, with 2 outs for the Dodgers. You know, we threaten every year now, Cookie, at spring training in Scottsdale. There's at least, you know, after dinner and perhaps a few social beverages, there's always a threat of, let's get a car and go to Daisy Mays. It's usually from Spilly or from Corey Sullivan. I've yet to go to Daisy Mays, but maybe one year we can make that trek all the way up to Tucson. I heard you like it a lot.
If you ever get a chance, I would take them up on it for sure.
Is your jersey hanging up there? It's not retired for the Rockies since Nolan's wearing it, but did you perhaps retire to Daisy Mays?
Yeah, one day it'll be retired, but it'll have his name on the back.
There you go.
There you
maybe
go.
we can get it hung up in Daisy Mays.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Hey, Cookie, what is your favorite memory of being a Colorado Rocky? Besides being a teammate and all this stuff, what is it about when you see a Colorado Rockies jersey? What does it remind you of?
Yeah, I mean, we had 2007 going for the World Series, the playoff run, and 21 out of 22 or 20 out of 21. That was such a blur. I can't remember the numbers. And then the 2009 playoffs, you know, were awesome. But, you know, just the way the fans rallied around us, and it was like anytime I would be out eating with my family, somebody would come up and say, hey, we appreciate everything you've done for the city. You know, we're Rockies for life. And then, I mean, I ran into somebody in West Texas about a year and a half ago at a horse show, and they were like, "Oh my God, you're Aaron Cook." I'm like, "How do you know me?" They're like, "Well, I did an internship at CSU in Colorado. We watched all your baseball games."
That's awesome.
I mean, just all the fans are just so loyal, and they're just so grateful to see you. And it's not like any other city. They're just so polite, and it's like they don't try to intrude with you when you're with your family. They give you a bubble and wait, and then they'll approach you. And it's just so neat to see.
Well, we've enjoyed catching up with you, Aaron. The inning's over. We wish our time could continue, but congratulations on making number 19, and we'll see you in June, buddy.
Thanks, I can't wait.
All right, Aaron Cook, our 19th player on our Toyota Talk 25 countdown. 4th inning around the corner. Back at Dodger Stadium, we go to the top of the 4th, all tied up at 2. Lots more offense than we saw last night in the Rockies' 2-1 win. It took just 3 hits, the 11th time that's happened in franchise history where the Rockies get a win with just 3 knocks. Tonight they found themselves with 5. Cargo a big difference in last night's game, Spilly. The 6th game-winning RBI. And that leads the National League. He's going to fly out to center field for the first out. I think it's funny, though. You always like to throw some good numbers my way, so I'm going to give you a good number.
You throw some numbers my way?
Yeah,
all
if
right.
Cargo has 6 game-winning RBI and the Rockies have 26 wins, I guess he's responsible for 23% of the Rockies' wins this year?
Is that what the math is?
Yeah. Dougie's nodding yes. He's checking my math.
He's a 6 WAR player.
Sometimes it just goes to show you it doesn't all come up in the box score, right?
Fair enough. Ian Desmond getting booed as he walks up to the plate. A home run in the 2nd inning.
He's on the Charlie Blackmon path of home runs on the road. His 8th home run happening here at Dodger Stadium. 7 of those coming away from Coors Field. In fact, the Rockies in total now have 40 of their 60 home runs out on the road. Do you think anyone on the East Coast is listening to that?
No, they don't care about that. They're not awake.
Just reminders. Doesn't all happen at Coors Field, buddy. Two to Desmond. Grounder to Turner.
Oh.
Across the diamond on a hop, and guess what? We're going to have a runner at 2nd in Ian Desmond.
Well, sloppy play for the Dodgers continues.
Number 22, Chris Iannetta.
Dodgers now 32 errors. On the Subaru Super Mode, Justin Turner just does not set his feet. And short hops Max Muncy at first.
And we saw that last night from the Dodgers, 3 errors in their loss to the Rockies to open this series, and now an error in the 4th inning. "32 errors for the Los Angeles Dodgers. They've not been playing clean baseball as of late. Rockies will try and capitalize with Chris Iannetta up. Tomcat NASCAR did not approve of Aaron Cook approving of the wave. It's a whole subcategory on Twitter about the wave, by the way.
And hot dogs.
You started that one yourself. Iannetta down 0-2.
Iannetta is 3 for 26 with runners in scoring position. That's a 115 batting average. But consider this, Jenny. He's 0 for his last 22 with runners in scoring position.
You saying he's due?
Yeah, he go 3 for 4 to start off the season.
Fouls off the 0-2.
Iannetta, just like Carlos Gonzalez, it's been a little bit more of a struggle for him to get his good swing going because of the amount of time that Iannetta's been splitting with Tony Wolters. And Wolters has earned opportunities to play more. If you look at the catcher's ERA, it's about a whole run lower than Chris. He's also thrown out more base runners. But we do know Iannetta offensively has higher upside. It's just hard to get into that rhythm at the plate, the confidence, when you're not playing every day. And that goes for everybody.
One-two to Iannetta, and this ball high in the sky. Chasing back is Taylor, calling off Kemp, and it's the second out. Hey fans, if the Rockies score 7 or more runs, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. Live Más at Taco Bell.
I'd love to see the Rockies take advantage of the error. They're going to walk Daniel Castro to get to Chad Bettis. Worst case scenario, you flip the lineup over, but I'd love to see Bettis. Bettis had a hit in his last start against the Giants for an RBI.
Yeah, we were joking around with Chad about how he's now in the hitting category of pitchers. He has a career high this season of 3 hits, and we're only in May. I'm with you, 2 runners on, put the ball in play, see what happens. Beach balls on the field, that happens sometimes at Dodger Stadium. So
along with the wave.
Gonna delay, that's right. Get it? Waves, beach balls. Santa Monica Pier, connecting everything. Chad with a hard liner, but right at Muncy. The Rockies, they're going to strand 2 after an error. Got Ian Desmond a second. All right, Connor, thanks so much. I'm not sure if we got your favorite cookie memory in. Spilly.
Padres game.
Oh, that's right.
Complete game using one pitch. It's my favorite moment. Love that.
He was pretty good against the Padres in general.
Yeah. It's like the Padres just wanted to get out.
Chris Taylor, the leadoff hitter for the Dodgers in the 4th. Taylor walked his first at bat and swings through that pitch, 0-1. Grounder to Trevor. Makes the easy out. Well, it's time now for the Lowe's whole team together. Take a look at the Rockies' road ERA in 2018 collectively. 3.57. It's 4th in the National League and the best in team history. Best in team history.
It's incredible.
Talking historic marks, what the Rockies have done through 30 road games.
And it always comes back to health of rotation. You're running your top 5 guys out every start. I think we had a note the other day where if you looked at rotations in baseball that have used 5 starting pitching, the Rockies were in that group. And it just changes the dynamic. You're giving your best guys a chance to pitch every single night.
Also Puig, the batter, 1-1. Look what happened to the Dodgers. I mean, you talk about injuries and having to shuttle guys in and out. That's what they're doing with Brock Stewart tonight and the taxi squad. It's nice to have consistency. It's nice for your defense, and it's nice when your starters can give you quality outings. That guy's fell off into the netting now. It's a no-brainer to connect the dots between how the pitchers have done on the road with 19 road wins. It's no secret the offense has not been at its best, and the pitchers have kept them in all these games. Chad Bettis is up there, 1.83 ERA on the road. 5 consecutive quality starts on the road as well for Chad.
Well, he just bends, but he doesn't break. We saw it in the first inning. Chad was on the ropes. Bases loaded. And then he settles down. He found his fastball. He's using it inside and out. The changeup is now a little bit more effective.
Another full count. Deep counts for Bettis tonight. He's approaching the 75th pitch.
You can't get Yasiel Puig to chase, which is incredible, given the fact the wild horse, the nickname that Yasiel Puig has when he first came to the big leagues, would swing at everything. He'd swing at that beach ball down the right field line.
It's a big target with that 40-ounce bat he has going on. Swinging at the 3-2, fouls it off.
And last year, Dave Roberts, because the potential for Yasiel Puig, when he first got to the big leagues and we saw the numbers he was putting out, looking at a 3-hole, 4-hole hitter. Last year, given the fact that Yasiel Puig in 2016 regressed, Dave Roberts just put him hitting 8th. 263 batting average, 28 home runs, 74 RBIs, and he left him down there. And I've actually changed my perspective, my opinion of Yasiel Puig as I've gotten to know him over the last couple of years. He's a good guy.
And the 9th pitch of the at-bat gets away, and Bettis has a base runner, walking Puig. 3rd walk on the night for Chad Bettis.
Logan Forsythe.
Logan Forsythe flew out to Cargo in the 1st. Watches the 1st pitch for a strike. Out to Cargo in a very similar fashion. 2nd out. Brock Stewart was nearing his pitch count. They thought he might go around 75 pitches, so Dave Roberts is going to go to his bench.
26.
Pull off the best pinch hitter right now for him, and that's Chase Utley. Utley with 7 pinch hits so far this season.
7 for 13 are some great numbers. And for Chase Utley, Jenny, you have to be prepared, and this is why the Dodgers love a guy like Chase Utley so much. It's because it's the 4th inning. And for a veteran player like Chase to be ready in the 4th inning, I know it sounds trite, but it's important.
He's going to swing at the 1st pitch right to Ian Desmond, and the Rockies getting out of it. No damage done. We'll move on to the 5th. Celebrating Aaron Cook tonight, and we wanted to know what your favorite Aaron Cook moment was. His MLB return, driving blood clots. And that came in July of 2005. 74-pitch complete game against the San Diego Padres. The 2008 All-Star game, pitched 3 innings of shutout baseball, or Game 2 in the win in the 2009 NLDS. You can go to AT&T Sportsnet RM. That's where you cast your vote, and we'll let you know coming up on the Toyota postgame show. We already got Spilly's answer. You're going with B.
Yeah, I'm going with the short pitching performance. That was great. Complete game in under 2 hours.
So Eric Goodell will be the pitcher, the relief pitcher for the Dodgers. Stewart, 63 pitches is what he gave LA. Of course, had to replace Rich Hill in the rotation, and now they're going to have to go to the bullpen early in the 5th inning.
Goodell, 3-pitch mix. Fastball, slider, and a curveball. It's fun watching Goodell pitch because his brother is in the same organization. Tyler Goodell.
Yeah, Eric was claimed off of waivers from Seattle just on Friday. And then he was recalled and made his Dodgers debut in the 2nd game of the doubleheader they played on Saturday.
His brother Tyler, an outfielder. His last big league time was with the Phillies. Prior to getting to the Dodgers, Goodell spent some time with the Mariners, but really made his name with the New York Mets. Playing out of the bullpen for multiple years. Never faced his brother.
Well, they could be teammates. 2-2 to Charlie. Slow 3-2. So finally a full count in favor of the Rockies. Seen plenty on the other side. Charlie had a single in the 3rd and looking to get the Rocks going here in the 5th. Rockies got 5 hits and 2 runs off of Stewart. Started the game. Let's see if they can't break things open against the relievers. Charlie out to right field and chasing in is Puig. Let's check back into Denver with the studio and Connor.
On the fielder, Gerardo Parra.
Well, Connor has multiple uses too. You know, you could just put tape over the cook
Yeah.
part and write in Arenado if you want.
It's like a Cleveland Browns jersey. You
That's
can
right.
just
Pick your own quarterback.
pick your own quarterback.
I think you should just go buy another number 28 jersey, by the way, if you want an Arenado jersey.
My son just got one the other
Did he?
day.
That's awesome.
He has fallen in love with the baseball game, which is great since I've been trying to get him to watch it, but he's fallen in love with Nolan Arenado.
Check Parra's swing, no go, 1-1.
So there's another 28 jersey in the Spielborg's household.
On the streets of Denver. Do you have a 28 pajama set that you wear?
I do have a 28 jersey in my house. It was a giveaway. I have a t-shirt. Awkward swing from Gerardo Parra. This is the challenge for the Rockies, is once the Dodgers start going to their bullpen and mixing and matching, there's a lot of names and faces that they're not familiar with.
Parra's a 5-game hit streak with 2 hits earlier tonight, 2 for 2. Both singles, and the shift playing out in outfield will be the out from Forsythe.
Looking to come out to a game, there's always great Rockies ticket deals available. Bookmark Rockies.com/specials and check back throughout the season. My family's looking forward to the next big homestand for the Rockies. The Dodgers currently on their longest homestand of the season. This is game 2 of a 10-game homestand for the Dodgers.
definitely be nice to see the Rockies at home. They'll have 9 when they return. Seeing some familiar foes. Dodgers coming to town at the end of it, and Nolan is going to ground out for out number 3. Rockies can't get the bats going against the bullpen for the Dodgers. Move on to the bottom of the 5th.
All right, if you guys posted your photos tonight using that hashtag.
Sportsnet is brought to you by Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. And by Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies Club level tickets by visiting wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Back in Los Angeles, all tied up at 2. Jenny Kavanaugh, Ryan Spilborgs, and Taylor McGregor with you. Drew Goodman back in Colorado with his coach's uniform on, and happy to report they'll be moving on to next week. Did lose today to Heritage, so they're now in the losing bracket division, if you will, Spilly.
Consolation bracket for Arapahoe.
Which can move right back up and end up
can?
in the state championship. Yeah, it's double elimination. It was their first loss. So the Warriors still alive. Of course, congrats to all the other prep athletes out there. This time of year, a busy one for CHSAA, and it's always fun to compete. You have graduation. Exciting time. That is 2-2 to Muncie. Got them both at bats so far. Struck out in the first and the second.
This is always the case in baseball now. 3rd time through the lineup. How long is the leash for Chad Bettis? You have a fairly rested bullpen. The numbers for Chad is because the changeup becomes more and more effective as the fastball becomes more established throughout the game. You can see the .231 batting average against 3rd time through. Should be an easy play for Charlie going back on it.
Third baseman, Justin Turner.
Justin Turner will be the second batter. Bettis has been in 5 3-ball counts so far. That's why you're seeing the 86 pitches. Of course, the long first inning as well, where the Dodgers did their damage. 2 runs off of 3 hits. Turner swings at the first pitch, and Charlie Blackmon's under it for the second out.
106 pitches, Jenny, is the season high for Chad Bettis, going back in Miami late April, 7 innings. Took a loss there, losing 3-0.
We haven't seen him go past 94 pitches in the month of May. Grandal the batter, and Bettis gets ahead 0-1. Grandal puts the ball in the air for the first time after grounding out twice, and tracking it, Nolan Arenado. 3 outs for Chad Bettis. Efficient into the 6th. All right, Connor, thanks so much. JT Chagua is going to be pitching for the Dodgers.
Good baseball name. Fastball that averages about 94, 95 miles an hour. When he was younger, he could touch 102 miles an hour with his fastball. In fact, he was nicknamed Spike. Spike Chagua. Cool nickname.
Can I just call him Spike the rest of the broadcast?
I don't know if he still has that nickname, to be honest.
1-1 to Story. Story's hitting .320 in his last 13. I've seen the power numbers for Trevor for sure.
Slider on the inside part of the plate that goes Trevor Story's way. Just off the inside portion on the Subaru strike zone. It just changes the at-bat from 1-2 to 2-1. Curious if he'll challenge Trevor with the fastball or go back to the slider.
Trevor fouls off the fastball. Outside, full count. Been a good road trip for Trevor. Looking for double-digit hits, though, sitting at 9.
Chigua, originally a second-round draft pick by the Minnesota Twins out of Rice. Born in Louisiana. It's a type of game, Jenny, where we saw last night how important just working a walk was. Tony Wolters last night with the walk in the 8th inning came around to score. Hits for the Rockies and the Dodgers coming at a premium.
And Trevor's going to work a walk. So leadoff runner on for the Rockies.
Right fielder, Carlos Gonzalez.
This is where you got to start to see the differences between the Rockies and why they're in first place versus the Dodgers. It's the bullpen. And last night it was Scott Alexander walking to Tony Wolters. Brian Shaw starting to get loose in the Rockies bullpen. You know how good he's been. And it was actually Pedro Baez that walked Tony Wolters.
Cargo for 2 on the night. He does have a hit in 10 straight games against the Dodgers. He's also among the active leaders when it comes to slugging percentage against the Dodgers at .550.
It was a healthy rip from Cargo. The Rockies, we mentioned this before, over 80% in their stolen bases this season. And Trevor, one of the better base runners on the Rockies roster. The Rockies have stole 32 bases already this year, Jenny. And with the shift, the way that the defense is set up, I wouldn't mind seeing an attempt from Trevor.
Trevor's going. Throw down, and Trevor is safe. 15 for 15. That's what the Rockies are in the month of May for stolen bases.
Well, you can just tell Chigua's a little bit slow to the plate. High leg kick. Trevor reads it, looks in. Potential hit and run. With the oven mitt on his left hand to protect that thumb, which he hurt a couple years ago in New York. He's able to hang on to the bag. I'm surprised Forsythe didn't actually try to push those fingertips off.
Mentioned the great numbers for the Rocks. Trevor now 8 stolen bases on the season. He has not been caught once. The narrative we heard at spring training, they're going to get aggressive, and we've seen it mostly in the month of May as Trevor's going to move up to third base. That's what happens when you're aggressive, Spill. You get the opportunity on a mistake from the other team. You put that pressure on them, and all of a sudden, a free bag.
Well, it's not only putting pressure on the Dodgers defense. The Dodgers defense has just been poor this year. 32 errors, now a pass ball that goes off Yasmani Grandal's glove on the Subaru Supermo. The Dodgers self-inflicting wounds.
Of course, this is bad for Carlos Gonzalez. You move a runner from first into scoring position and now to third Bigger at bat, and on the 2-1, he's going to foul it off. Saw Cargo come off the bench last night and come up big with a game-winning RBI.
Just put the ball in play. The entire left side of the field is wide open. Justin Turner's just standing close to third to keep Trevor from getting a huge lead.
And the 2-2, he's going to watch it go by for strikeout and out number 1.
Backdoor slider from Chagua. Good movement. Ends up running back. Cargo gave up on it. He might have been looking for a fastball in.
Ian Desmond responsible for one of the Rockies' runs, a solo home run in the second. Reached base on an error in the fourth.
Rockies have to find a way. You have to find a way to get this run in.
Here's the 0-1, and Desmond swinging, finds the hole, and Trevor Story comes home for the go-ahead. Rockies take a 3-2 lead. That was a great piece of hitting by Ian Desmond.
Catcher.
2 RBIs now for Ian Desmond, and you have to love the approach. Put the ball in play, get it in play. Infield in for the Dodgers, so there's not a lot of room for them to defend the infield. Sinker shorten ups his swing, punches it to the right side. You can see Ian Desmond giving himself a personal clap.
And you should, you mentioned it, it's a big moment. You have to reward yourself for all the grinding that Ian's been doing. He's come up big in the last 2 series at certain points, including that at bat right there.
I expect Ian Desmond at some point to do what Trevor did and try to steal another bag.
Chagua has the same idea.
The Rockies desperate for production between the 5 to the 8-hole spot in the lineup.
Iannetta looking to make something happen.
If you're at home watching, curious why Ian Desmond does not dive into first base. He's always said that he goes back standing up. It's very rare to see him dive towards first.
He's going. Fouls off. Pitch to Iannetta. I think he just never got comfortable doing it. Just stuck for him.
I think it's just stuck for him.
Iannetta fouls another pitch off.
You can always tell when a hitter's struggling. You can see them have that big deep breath, the sigh, because that was another pitch. Iannetta has been fouling off a lot of pitches recently that he could have handled.
Again, Ian has to make a big leap back to first.
Well, I mentioned earlier too, Jenny, when you're looking at Ionetta just trying to get steady at bats in the month of May, Tony Walters has started 10 times. Chris Ionetta has started 9.
One, two, and he's going to go down swinging. Hard to get in a rhythm.
Second baseman, Daniel Castro.
Daniel Castro going to try and keep the inning going. And Desmond with the RBI single to give the Rocks a 3-2 lead. Swings at the first pitch, fouls it back. Jod Bettis is on deck, but Brian Shaw still warming up. See what happens in this at bat against Castro. Watch a strike 2 go by, 0-2.
So it becomes an interesting question is, if you're Ian Desmond, do you want to try to steal second base with 2 strikes, knowing that Castro, if you get thrown out, leads off the inning?
David Dahl has a bat and his helmet on, so if the inning continues, it looks like they'll pull Bettis back. He does have 89 pitches on the night. Comes the 0-2. Castro swings around, so 3 outs gone by, all on strikeouts, but not before the Rockies get a run. Ian Desmond, 2 RBI on the night, and a 3-2 Rockies lead.
Bottom 6, we got to talk about a guy named Jerry Schimmel, the Rockies radio broadcaster. It is a big night for him as a movie that he stars in called Godspeed is being shown all across the country. It's a documentary and it's about his race across America at the 3,000-mile race that him and his writing partner Brad Cooper participated in, and it's 168 hours straight of cycling. They had crews with them to film the whole thing, so they made a documentary-style movie to raise money. And we asked them what they hope people who watch the movie get out of it.
I hope they stretch. I hope they come out of it saying, well, that was entertaining, but I saw myself in it. I saw myself struggling with this thing at work or personally or relationship, and I want to be better. And now I'm inspired because these are two average guys who stretched outside their comfort zone and they want to be better.
What about you, Jerry?
I'd like people to leave the film Godspeed thinking, I got a question. That question is, what's my RAM? What do I want to do? What dream do I have that Brad and Jerry had that they acted on that I should act on? Is there something stirring in my heart? There's something I've always wanted to do, never pulled the trigger on. Maybe I should go out and get that done.
Pretty incredible. They did it all to raise money for orphans in Haiti. But Jenny, can you imagine riding 3,000 miles straight, him and his partner relaying it? But I mean, still, that is absolutely insane.
It was unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, Taylor, we caught Jerry when he got off of that trip. He obviously took some time off, and I mean, he was tired.
So
he was skinny.
168 hours. You have to sit.
You have to sit through the whole thing. How they went across country. No, really great movie, Godspeed. I got the chance to watch it on the theaters in Denver. Really cool for Jerry and his partner. They're spreading a great message of hope and raised a lot of money for a great cause.
I watch Jerry almost every day that on the occasional time that I do work out. And Jerry, you can find him every single day working, training, especially leading up to that race.
You just go down there to get water, so Bellinger does not, or grounds into a fielder's choice. So let's get you caught up here. Chad Bettis out of the game. 5 innings for Chad, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, with both coming in the first inning. Shut him down after that. Brian Shaw, the new pitcher in relief to start the 6th. Matt Kemp had a single. Bellinger grounds into the fielder's choice, so 1 out.
This is now the 27th appearance for Brian Shaw, which leads all of Major League Baseball. And for Shaw, his bread and butter, the cutter, has been very effective of late.
Jason Taylor, who walked earlier, grounded out in the 4th. Shaw grew up in California, Northern California, Livermore area. He's a dirtbag to Long Beach State. His dad recently retired from the California Highway Patrol, and Shaw told me it was a very convenient job for him when he drove on the highway.
Why is that? Chips?
Yeah, I mean, if Shaw happened to be speeding, it's a very convenient job to have your dad work for the CHP, right?
Driving up from Playa del Rey.
Oh, the Californians. Pretty cool. His dad was with the CHP for over 20 years, so perhaps that's where he gets his work ethic from, works hard, and as you mentioned, super durable. 27 appearances for Shaw. One-two to Taylor is in the air. He's headed back and out of the ballpark. Two-run home run for Chris Taylor, his 6th of the season. And the Dodgers skip ahead of the Rockies, 4-3.
6 homers now for Chris Taylor. Oh, Subaru Supermo. This is the slow curve. He leaves it up. Speeds up Taylor's bat. All you have to do as a hitter with a hanging curveball, put the barrel on it.
Momentum shift for the Dodgers with Yasiel Puig coming up.
It's the last thing you want to do at Dodger Stadium is get the crowd involved. In one swing, it turns it all around.
Back to back. Yasiel Puig sends the baseball out, his 5th home run. And exactly what Spilly said, you do not want to get this crowd going.
Looks like another hanging breaking ball. And it is. And the Subaru Supermo, Yasiel sits on it. Admires it.
The 0-1 to Logan Forsythe fouls that off.
After 2 bad results with the slower off-speed pitch, Brian Shaw is not going back to any slider or curveball. He's throwing nothing but his cut fastball.
Mike Dunn warming up for the Rockies. It's the 3rd time this season that LA's gone back-to-back. On the ground, Forsythe to Castro, and the 2nd out.
Trust your gut, pick the right player, and get one step closer to winning $5.6 million. Download Beat the Streak today in the App Store or on the MLB.com/BTS.
Pinch hitter for the Dodgers, Kike Hernandez. Starts off with the ball, 1-0. Dodgers bench has been good, but that ball is going to hang in the air long enough for Charlie to finish the inning. Dodgers take the lead, back-to-back home runs, Taylor and Puig. 5-3 Dodgers. Yeah, Connor, look forward to that next week with Hopper. Tony Cingrani, the pitcher, the pinch hitter for the Rockies, Noel Cuevas. Cingrani's punched out 25 batters, including striking out the side on Sunday against the Nationals, his last appearance. But the good news, Cuevas is hitting .345 against left-handed pitchers this year.
Well, for Cingrani, the Dodgers love his mechanics. They love how he slingshots the baseball. A fastball that averages about 94 miles an hour can touch 96, 97. It's always difficult when you see reliever numbers, see the high ERA, but understand 25 strikeouts in 15 innings is really good.
Cuevas 3 pinch hits on the season. We've seen Noel work hard and take advantage of his opportunities this year.
Well, including getting impromptu interviewed. I'm not sure if you saw this yesterday, Jenny, but a LA sports reporter was trying to interview Carlos Gonzalez before the game and thought Carlos was Noel Cuevas, or Noel Cuevas was Carlos. Either way you look at it.
Hey, he's a number 5 on his jersey.
He's got a 5 on it.
There's also a 6. And Cuevas out to right field. Puig coming in. Should have just gone with it, right?
Number 19, Charlie Blackman.
Well, when the guy says, I've known you for a while since we've been back in Orlando, you're like, okay, now I can't.
That's the best. You just keep going with it, right, Taylor?
Yeah, you guys, I was talking to him about this, and he said, you know, I wanted to keep going with it, but exactly as Philly brought up, he says, I remember you from back when, and he goes, well, I'm not Cargo, and they were having a good laugh about it today in the dugout. I mean, it's just unfortunate situation that it was live television for the reporter, but it was a good laugh for everyone involved.
We've all made mistakes, but when these guys wear numbers on your jersey, you should double check, right? Just saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Back to the top of the order and Charlie Blackman. Last night, no for night for the top of the order for the Rocks. Tonight, much better, 4 for 9. Looking to build here.
Some reverse splits for lefties versus Cingrani. Lefties are hitting over 300.
Charlie in the air up to left. Easy play for Kemp.
Catch the best fireworks show in town this summer on Tuesday, July 3rd, and Wednesday, 4th of July, following the games with the San Francisco Giants. Get a chance to see the Giants coming back to Coors Field next week.
Rockies didn't see the Giants and the Dodgers until this past Thursday in San Francisco, and now with 1/3 of their schedule, they're going to see a lot of the Giants and the Dodgers.
And the Giants will have Madison Bumgarner coming back at some point, so will Clayton Kershaw for the Dodgers.
Get those full arsenals back.
Well, that's why it was so important for the Rockies to come into this series and win a series.
Kershaw's going to throw a bullpen tomorrow. They said a pretty aggressive bullpen, and then Saturday a sim game set up. He'll face some of his teammates in the batter's box. Get up and down about 4 innings worth, and all checks out there. I think we'll see Clayton Kershaw pitching a baseball game next week.
I think it's funny when you say an aggressive bullpen. Everything this guy does is aggressive.
Yeah, but I think when you're coming back, right, from an injury.
He's chewing the gum aggressive.
Well, when you put half the bucket in your mouth. Parr's been aggressive at the plate tonight. 2 hits for him. 2 Rockies with a multi-hit performance. Ian Desmond the other. Swings through that pitch, 2-2.
Well, like most relievers that we're watching, back in 2015 as a reliever with the Cincinnati Reds, 33 innings pitched, only 39 strikeouts. Now, Cingrani's averaging almost way more than over a strikeout per inning.
I'm gonna check the swing and say Parr a win. Strikeouts the final out. Rockies can't get any base runners in the 7th. Colorado Rockies baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees, that's transparency. Back at Dodger Stadium, Los Angeles celebrating 60 years right here in LA. 5-3, they take the lead. We go to the 7th inning with Mike Dunn coming in relief.
Not a lot of appearances for Mike Dunn, 11 1/3. It's the walks that have come back to haunt him. Reason why his ERA is close to an 8. In fact, his strikeouts per 9 is around a 6, which is 3 strikeouts less than his career average.
Hasn't allowed a run his past 4 games in 2 2/3 innings. Facing Max Muncy to begin the 7th. Gets ahead 0-2.
Dunn is looking forward to the Stanley Cup, the Golden Knights making it.
Yeah, he's a big Vegas Golden Knights fan. Season ticket holder. Bought in right away, took his boys, his wife. Even was able to work an off-day flight back to cheer him on in the last round. And he gets Muncy swinging. Iannetta is going to go down to first to complete the out.
It's 3 strikeouts
Third
of the night
baseman, number
for
10, Justin Turner.
Muncy, and more importantly for Mike Dunn to get the good slider. You notice this all the time, Jenny. Whenever pitchers come to sea level, they'll see more snap with their slider. They'll see more movement with their changeup or with their fastball.
Justin Turner's season debut at Dodger Stadium coming last night, an 0 for 4 night. First at bat tonight, a ground rule double. Gone down swinging, just 2 strikeouts for him in first 28 at bats of the season. Starting the year on the disabled list and came right back to help the Dodgers. The 1-1 from Dunn in the dirt.
It's amazing to think that Justin Turner was designated for assignment by the New York Mets. And it was a chance encounter for Justin Turner at his alma mater, where he ran into Tim Wallach. Saw him swinging in the cage and said, hold on, don't sign with anybody yet.
Into the outfield, Charlie's tracking it for the second out. It's hard to believe at that moment in time that you could ever say to yourself, I'll be one of the premier players in this game come 2018.
Yeah, I mean, that offseason 2014, he spent because of a teammate that he had in New York in Marlon Byrd, and they came straight to work here in California, working on changing his swing, on his approach.
Could say the same thing for Charlie Blackmon, so there must be some magic to growing out your facial hair and really committing to it like you've done, Spilly.
Well, my swing has not got better with this facial hair.
Are we going to see some magic from you come the end of the season?
I'm hoping by the end of the year this is like a legit playoff beard.
I mean, there is so much gray in
Would
that
you
beard.
Stop.
You might be Santa Claus by December.
That's fine. It'll serve multi-purposes.
I knew you were looking for an off-season job. 0-2 to Grandal. Grounder to Nolan. Nolan to complete the inning. 10 pitches for Mike Dunn. Efficient from the bullpen. Rockies, 2 more innings of opportunities to get the bats going. 5-3 Dodgers.
As we head into the top of the 8th in Chavez Ravine, Dodger Stadium, the first 15,000 fans through the gates for the Rockies-Reds game on May 26 will receive a 25th anniversary season all-time 25 roster t-shirt, courtesy of 106.7 The Bull. Doc Roberts going to Josh Fields, hard-throwing righty. Fields has been used in a multitude of roles, including closer. He has 2 saves on the season. Opponent's hitting 192.
Ball hits the backstop.
High fastball.
Nolan will start with a 1-0 count. Had a single RBI in the 3rd after grounding out into a double play. Again, we saw some frustration from Nolan yesterday. Took it into his at-bats today. He could really use taking into this at-bat. Feel me? Feel what I'm putting out there?
Feel it. Well, Nolan 1 for 3 in his career against Josh Fields, including a home run.
Nolan's been more patient this year, watching some pitches. He's had to. Pitch selection hasn't been great for Nolan recently. 25 walks to this point this season, obviously through 43 games. 14 walks last year, so we're seeing the walks go up for Nolan. We're seeing the singles also go up, meaning the extra base hits have gone down. Swings at that one.
He's taking what the teams are giving him, a lot of hits to right field for singles, punching the ball opposite field, which teams are happy with. But I think RBIs being a byproduct of a productive lineup, not a lot of opportunities for Nolan.
Laughing when we say that and looking at Nolan's batting average sitting at 325. He's going to go down swinging. Nolan said he understands that his offensive numbers are on track to be pretty good this year, but mentally he can't wrap his head around it when the extra bases aren't there. He feels like the RBI should be up, but again, that's a product of team offense and trying to get some runners on for Nolan. Trevor Story's going to try and be one of those runners on base for this team to get going.
You definitely want to try to get some offense, a run in this inning, because you know you have Kenley Jansen coming in the 9th inning.
There's Kenley warming up right now. Right inside. Nolan freezes 1-0.
This has been the issue for the Dodgers the last couple of years, is figuring out the bridge to get to Kenley Jansen. An elite level closer, one of the best in baseball. Last year it ended up being Brandon Morrow, who was signed to a minor league deal. Ended up really running with that setup role.
Pop up into foul territory. Muncie's going to make the out.
Right fielder number 5, Carlos Gonzalez.
Cargo's opportunity with 2 outs, 0 for 3 on the day. Three-game hit streak on the line for Cargo. Swings at the first pitch, 0-1. There's 3 hits for the Rockies yesterday, 6 today so far, with 2 outs in the 8th.
Fields, a little bit of a short arm. Some deception when he's pitching. Difficult for righties to pick up. But with his fastball averaging about 96 miles an hour, and he loves to pitch at the top of the strike zone. That 96 feels a lot faster.
One and two to Cargo. Makes contact, fouls it off.
Thinking back to the 3 runs in the 6th inning, knowing Brian Shaw, he's going to be upset with the pitch selection, with his choice. 2 hanging curveballs.
Cargo into left field, and that is going to be a line drive out. Caught by Matt Kemp. Colorado Rockies baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees, that's transparency. And by Jack in the Box. Try the new Cholula Buttery Jack, part of the Buttery Jack family. Back in Los Angeles, 2 big innings for the Dodgers. Give them a 5-3 lead over the Rockies. We head to the bottom of the 8th. And a new reliever for the Rocks, Chris Russin.
A bit of a grind for Chris Russin as he's trying to find his mechanics. He's not been pinpoint with his command, and that's something of a calling card for Chris Russin, being able to dot on the inside part of the plate, down and away.
Tough customer to see first, too, and Matt Kemp, 2 hits on the evening, following up his 2 for 4 night to open the series yesterday. The 1-1, Kemp swinging, and looks like he fouled it off.
That one's gonna
hurt. Never feels good. Trainer's coming out.
Well, it's a cutter inside the Subaru Supermo, and it looks like it hits his back knee. That's hard to do.
That right knee took a beating, no doubt.
So hitters always know that that pitch is probably coming again, so it almost forces you to step off the plate a little bit. Iannetta trying to buy a little extra time for Matt Kemp.
A little easier to shake it off too, and your batting average has already rose 7 points tonight, hitting .333 now, and he came in at .326, which was already third in the National League. He's going to get that baseball out of the game. One-two, Kemp swinging. Ian's going to track it and bobble it. Does he have it is the question, and I think it landed in some nachos is the answer.
Great attempt from Ian Desmond. I don't know if it's nachos or just bobbleheads.
Corey Seager bobblehead giveaway night. He's on the disabled list, and Ian almost got this fan on the disabled list too. He was so scared he was going to run into him. And Chris Russin gets Matt Kemp swinging. It's a good confidence booster for the Swiss Army knife.
Center fielder, number 35.
Sign up to save a life. The Bond Fees Blood Mobile will be in front of Coors Field near 20th and Blake Street on May the 30th from noon to 4:30 p.m. Visit bondfees.org to sign up.
Chris Russin will face Cody Bellinger, and he's swinging first pitch. Charlie's coming in, Parra's coming in, and Parra's going to make the catch.
Shortstop, number 3.
2 outs for Chris on 7 pitches. Gonna go to work against Chris Taylor. Taylor doing the damage in the 6th with that 2-run home run, followed by Puig's solo shot. Difference in the baseball game tonight. Outside ball 2.
Well, if Russin can get a couple strikes on Chris Taylor, typically with guys with leg kicks, we've seen it with Justin Turner, Russin will change his tempo. Try to throw off the leg kick. He just cannot find the strike zone. And be careful with Chris Taylor. He's known to swing on 3-0 pitches. If it's there, he will fire.
Doesn't fire at that one, so the first strike of the at-bat for Russin, 3-1. Taylor swinging at that to Nolan. Nolan across the diamond. And the Rockies are going to head to the top of the 9th. A 5-game win streak at Dodger Stadium on the line for Colorado. opportunity for Colorado in the top of the 9th, and then right after the game, it's the Toyota post-game show. Hope you can join the boys, Connor and Huey, in the studio. Plenty to break down, including the pitching performances tonight from these two starters. It's time for our Kubota pitching performance. Chad Bettis went 5 innings, 3 hits for him on 89 pitches. Brock Stewart, who was recalled today, has been back and forth between AAA Oklahoma City. 4 innings is what he gave him on 63 pitches. It's been a bullpen game from there. And now it's Kenley Jansen time in LA. Ian Desmond, the first batter, and the Dodgers bolstering their defense as well out in left field with Jock Peterson.
It's been documented for Kenley Jansen earlier in the season, blowing multiple saves. And there was a lot of talk within the baseball industry watching the velocity of Kenley Jansen dip. That last cut fastball at 90 miles an hour. Typically, Kenley Jansen's fastball averages 93 to 95 miles an hour.
Ian Desmond calls time. Mentioned Jock Peterson coming in left field for Matt Kemp. Desmond swings hard. 1-2.
Kenley, you got to remember, was a converted catcher. It's hard to picture him as a catcher now, just given the size of Kenley. 6'5", 275 pounds. And he's always just naturally cut the baseball. Kenley had 47 saves in 2016, 41 saves last year. It's been 8 straight scoreless appearances for Kenley. Hitters hitting .111.
It's a big reason why the Dodgers are 18-1 when they lead after the 8th. And watches that pitch, 2-2. Ian trying to spark something for Colorado. Solo home run in the 2nd, reached in the 4th, and RBI single in the 6th. Hard hit. And finds the glove of Chris Taylor diving. Who's right.
This is the 2nd day in a row that Chris Taylor has robbed the Rockies hitter. Desmond top spin. Taylor, a natural shortstop who can play the outfield, and it's pretty remarkable seeing just how much this guy has impacted the Dodgers in the last 2 years.
New age player, you got to be versatile for some of these guys, and Chris Taylor owns that with outfield and infield experience. Ionetta's the batter, swinging at the first pitch, fouls it off. Time ticking down for the bottom of the order for the Rocks.
David Dahl on deck. You're hoping to see Ionetta get on base. David Dahl, several years ago, one of the few people to have ever hit a home run off Kenley Jansen as a lefty at Dodger Stadium.
Strike 2 on Ionetta. Watches that go by for the ball. The 1-2 Chris swinging, and that's going to go into a gap. Rockies are going to have a base runner, extra bases for Chris, a ground rule double. That's a way to get out of a hitting slump.
Perfect timing for it, too, for Iannetta. 2 strikes, just trying to put the ball in play. Subaru Supremo, the natural cut fastball away from Iannetta. Short and quick. And he got rewarded. So put some pressure on Kenley Jansen. You know, pitchers don't forget hitters that hit home runs off of them.
So Dahl will be the pinch hitter, digging into that memory bank. Now's the time for David as he faces Kenley Jansen. He's swinging right away. 0-1 to Dahl. Valleca stepped to the on-deck circle for the Rocks. David with 1 pinch hit this season. He's behind 0-2. One and two.
These are always exciting at bats as a young player, as any player, facing one of the league's best. The game on the line.
Swing from David to the right side, and that's going to move the runner over. So Iannetta is standing at third, and the Rocks have 2 outs. Fans, who wants tacos? Follow us at AT&T Sportsnet RM on Twitter. That's where you can receive alerts for the Rockies taco special. Happens when the Rockies score 7 or more runs. Could use some runs in the 9th. Iannetta is standing at third with 2 outs, and Pat Valleca is going to be the pinch hitter. Grandal and Jansen with a meeting on the mound.
Valleca has faced Jansen 2 times in his life. He's 0 for 2. But last year, this was the calling card of Pat Valleca, Patty Barrels. Pinch hit at bat against the closer.
One and 0 to Pat. 3 pinch hits on the season for Patty Barrels.
Oh, and the 16 RBIs for Valleca last year as a pinch hitter. Most all time for a rookie.
This is on a swing, 1-1.
It's not come quite as easy for Valleca this year as it did last year, and part of that has to do again is with the theme that we talk about, getting quality at bats and getting consistent at bats.
Big at bat here, 1-1. They're gonna check to see if he went. He did not. 2-1. Hometown boos coming from Dodgers fans.
I think they're a little uneasy. They've seen this too much in 2018 with Kenley.
2-1. Pat swings through that. 2-2. Fans rise to their feet, hoping for the last out, and the Rockies hope to keep the rally going. Pat can't connect, and that's out number 3. Kenley Jansen saves the day for the Dodgers. Save number 9 on the season. The Dodgers getting the win column against the Rocks. Randy Newman plays on, and it looks like we have a rubber match coming up tomorrow. in the finale of this series between Colorado and LA, the first of their season, seeing each other late. Not the ending the Rocks were hoping for. Losing to the Dodgers 5-3 tonight. Can't seem to find a way to come back after the 6th inning when the Rocks are down, yet to win this season. Let's get it back to the boys in the studio, Connor and Huey.